The narrative begins where Enfield and Mr. Utterson, Jekyll's friend, were walking. They were taking a walk. During their walk, they saw a strange building that is attached to that of Dr. Jekyll, the person they hold in high esteem. This building was attached to Dr. Jekyll's house. So, as they say, when you are walking with someone, when you see something, it brings like a chatting. So that made Enfield to tell Utterson about the occupant, somebody who lives in that building, and who happens to be Mr. Hyde, about the actions, the things that he has witnessed Mr. Hyde do. How he has trampled on a little girl, and without feeling any remorse or taking even responsibility for his action. So, because of this, Utterson was so obsessed. He wants to meet this strange person. He wants to meet this person that he has heard so much about. Finally, Utterson got to meet with Mr. Hyde. And he had a little conversation with him. And he was so surprised. He was not just surprised, he was concerned. He felt concerned about his friend. And then he decided to go and warn his friend, Dr. Jekyll, about this person that is attached to him, this person that he allows to, that is living closer to his building. On getting to Dr. Jekyll's house, he met Dr. Jekyll's butler by name Pole, or Paul. I can't pronounce the name properly. Did not see Dr. Jekyll. Pole told him that Jekyll is not around, but that Jekyll has given instruction that whenever they should allow Mr. Hyde in and out whenever he wants to his house. 2 weeks later, both of them were at a friend's party. That's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Utterson. They were at a friend's party. And then Utterson now raised this topic because Utterson has seen Dr. Jekyll's will, that he has willed everything to this same Mr. Hyde. Utterson now was worried and then started, advising his friend about his concerns about how can he be attached to this guy and also has willed everything to him in case he dies. And you know what? Dr. Jekyll just laughed about it and said, "You worry too much." That kind of a thing. You worry too much, my friend. Don't bother. That's what I have decided to do. Let it be like that. Nearly a year later, Mr. Hyde murdered a man named Carew. Pardon my pronunciation. The person who witnessed this could not believe the brutality of Mr. Hyde's murder. Suffered such great distress. And then Mr. Hyde disappears and Dr. Jekyll became very ill and isolated himself. At a time, he came out and reassured everyone that he's gotten rid of Mr. Hyde. The police could not find Mr. Hyde. Because of that, Utterson was so crossed. He determined to make Hyde pay for all the atrocities that he has been committing. When Mr. Hyde could not be found and Dr. Jekyll reassured everybody that he has gotten rid of Mr. Hyde, then he became happier. That's Dr. Jekyll became happier and started socializing again. And then all of a sudden, same Dr. Jekyll became depressed and refuses to see his friend Utterson. And then that got Utterson worrying again. Utterson decided to visit Dr. Jekyll's old friend named Dr. Lyon. He met Dr. Lyon in his deathbed. Dr. Lyon refuses to discuss anything about Dr. Jekyll. Later, he gave Utterson the letter that Jekyll has written and has instructed that it should only be opened when Dr. Jekyll is no more. And then Dr. Lyon died, passed. Fast forward, life became normal. One evening, Dr. Jekyll's butler, Polly, ran to Utterson's house to call him to come and see what's going on in his master's, Dr. Jekyll's laboratory. When he came, Utterson listened and was hearing some strange noises. Polly started narrating the story that this laboratory had been locked for days and that the person inside kept asking for chemicals to mix. And then when Polly brings the chemical, the person inside will say, this is not pure chemical, this is something else, which means there is something going on. Finally, both of them decided to break the laboratory, only for them to find a small human in Dr. Jekyll's clothing on the floor, dead. Then Utterson decided to open the letter that was given to him, only to open when Dr. Jekyll is no more. It was through this letter that everything was explained. Dr. Jekyll's confession and the mystery about Mr. Hyde was unraveled. It happened that it was this same Dr. Jekyll who transformed himself, who after mixing some chemical, he drinks and then becomes this very strange person and started acting on the character of this person. The personality